everyone. This is Donna's Happy Hour. Just a reminder to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you get future notifications of the videos. And please leave a comment. Thank you. Have a great day.
Actually a really big day. I don't know if Sarah told you.
No.
We have a lot of our animals are going to be spayed and neutered. So the neuter scooter, as they call it, came and picked them up this morning. Wow. So some of our friends may not be in here right now. I see Sweeney and McGee both have pink cards on their cages. So they are out getting spayed and neutered.
So now, any of the cats or even the dogs, kittens, they all get their shots. They also get spayed and neutered before they go to homes.
That's correct. Everyone's
Wow.
up to date on vaccinations,
Wow.
microchipped, and spayed or neutered.
Oh, and microchip. That's a good thing to know. Wow, that's important. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, great.
So let's see who is in here who can spend some time with us.
All right. Oh. Oh, there's one. Hi, Petey.
A little bit on the shy side.
Okay. He
So
looks.
We've been working with him to socialize him, to make him a little bit friendlier. But if you're
Right.
looking for a cat who just wants to hang out,
That's the guy.
He's your guy.
Now, how old is he?
He, I believe, is about 2 years old.
Okay.
So actually, on his cage card, it shows their date of birth. He's actually about closer to 4 years old.
Okay. Oh, wow. And how long has he been here?
He has been here since February.
Since
so he's been here a few months.
What is the average turnover like for the animals that you have here? Like, what cat or dog has been here the longest?
That's a great question. Usually, an animal will be adopted within a year or so. It's always hard to tell. You know, the animals have different temperaments and things like that. Some are a little bit harder to adopt out than others, especially the shy ones, which is why we're always looking for people who are willing to, exactly. It's so important. And meanwhile, there are some animals that fly out of here before we can actually post them online. Somebody comes in to look at a kitten and they go home that day.
Wow. So any of the cats and the dogs that you have here, they can go online. And do you have pictures of every single one of them online?
Not every single one. For example, the middle room that we were just looking at, they only came in a few days ago. Actually, just today, they've been marked as available for adoption in our system. So I'm going to take some pictures later on, and we can post them online. That's usually how people find our animals, but sometimes they come in to see one cat or dog, and they realize, oh, we're not really feeling it. This doesn't feel like the right fit for us, and they end up taking another animal that maybe we haven't even had time to put online yet, and they just happen to fall in love with, and it works out.
Now, that's something that I had talked with Garrett about was, do you, because you handle the cats the most, I would imagine, is from the way he told me, do you try to guide the person? Because I've had cats all my life, and I also, just like a dog, not every dog is for every person, and not every cat is for every person. Do you try to, as the person is here, talk with them and get a feel for where you might steer that person to what cat?
Oh, absolutely. Our cat adoption counselors are great. We've even seen it happen before where people will come in for one cat thinking that they want this cat for whatever reason. A common reason is it may look like a cat that they've had in the past that may have passed away. And obviously, like you just said, every cat's temperament is a little bit different. They may realize, oh, I like the way this cat looks, but its behavior isn't what I was expecting. And so our cat counselor will guide them and say, well, this cat may not be the best fit for you, but why don't you meet this other cat? They may be a better fit. Or they may even say, we may not have the right cat for you right now, but we'll give you a call in a little while, a few maybe weeks or months, and we'll touch base and see if we have somebody who might be a better fit.
That's so smart and wonderful to do, because the last thing you want is for them to wind up back here or some other place. And that's what I had said to Garrett and to the audience, is that's really so important. And especially, if you're, let's say, looking for a pure breed, which I'm sure you get those as well. And every pure breed has a temperament and a disposition and of its own. And so to match yourself up is the best thing that you can do with the right animal, whether it be dog, cat, monkey. Anyway, well, I'm going to see if I can approach, what was his name? Petey. I'm going to see if Petey will say hi.
Give him a little finger to
Hi,
sniff at first.
Petey, I got a kitty cat too. Hi, baby. Hi.
He really likes our receptionist. She
Does he?
does very well.
Oh, it's okay, Petey. Boop. He's like, no, you move too fast. Oh,
They were just playing with him a little while ago in here, so he might be a little bit.
yeah. Well, you know what? That's all right. And he was just letting me know, like, maybe not so just yet. That's okay. All right. Well, I really appreciate being able to come in here. The last time we were here, you had, I would say, at least 5 or more cats, which obviously are out getting spayed. Which I'm glad to hear, because unfortunately, so many cats do not get spayed, and then it just creates a bigger problem. So, all right, well, let's move on to the next space. So we are now in the other cat room, and you said to me that all of these cats were from one family. So what had happened was the wife had passed away, and the husband felt he was just overwhelmed.
That's right. And that's something that happens very often with us. We recently had 2 other senior cats who have since been adopted, who came to us because the woman was disabled and her husband passed away, and she just couldn't take care of them anymore. So it's always a hard decision to make. But we're always here, whether it's 1 cat or 8 of them like this.
Now, in that particular case, did he keep any of the cats, or were there more cats in that family?
I'm not entirely sure. I heard originally he was supposed to bring us 9, so I'm not sure if there was some miscommunication or if he does still have one.
Let's hope he knows about it.
I know, right?
Well, as you can see, these are very friendly cats. They're all really love bugs. Oh, there's another one. Okay, so we found another one. This particular group of cats are from, 5 years old to...
About 10 years old.
10 years old. Okay. Now, they just came in. So do you know if they have been spayed and neutered or any of...
They actually came to us spayed and neutered, which does happen sometimes. It's one last step for us. So they are available for adoption now because they came in spayed and neutered. They were seen by the vet. They're microchipped, so they're ready to be adopted.
So they've already been checked for any kind of possible viruses that they could pass on or any... Now, what do you do in cases of cats that have feline AIDS or any of the other unfortunate diseases that they can get?
We do have one room that is a cage room, so that if a cat does have FIV, which we do have one actually, or any other reason why they shouldn't be around other cats, whether it's a special diet or they just don't get along with other cats, we do have a cage room for them, which we can take a look at next.
And do all of the cats, you test them to see what diseases they may have that aren't obviously apparent without blood work?
For that, I would have to ask the vet techs. I know that we do a lot of vetting, and our vets do see every animal before they're available for adoption. So I believe they do test for most things.
Most things, that's That's interesting. And this is just actually out of curiosity for myself. So when you have a cat that has feline AIDS, that is something that they can only contract through blood
Yes.
if they were to get in a fight with the other cat or something
It
like
would have
that.
to be a deep wound that they would transfer that disease. So a cat with FIV could cohabitate with a cat without FIV as long as they get along and they don't fight.
And what about diseases, again, that you may not know that the cat has? For instance, people coming in, let's say they already have a cat at home, and then they want to adopt. Do they have to worry that they can bring something home to their own cat?
That's always a possibility. No matter how much testing we do, there's always a possibility of there being fleas, for example. Or there was actually a case recently where a woman adopted a cat from us. A few months went by and she called to say this cat has ringworm. And we had no idea. We had, done the testing that we do, and where it came from, we're not really sure. So is it possible that it came from us? Yes. Is it possible that the cat got it from somewhere else? Of course, it depends, where the cat is exposed to.
Right. Well, it also depends on if the cat goes in and out. If it's not an indoor cat, and then, yeah, it would be hard to, obviously, then could get it from elsewhere.
Right, and there are
Very
so many
interesting.
diseases cats can get from going outside.
Right, right. I have a cat, and I do not let my cat out. And it's, to me, it's just not worth the worrying. Number one, are they going to get in fights? Number two, are they going to get hit by a car? Number three, are they going to, ticks and fleas and everything else? It's a lot to consider when you're adopting, because those are all important things, especially if you plan to let your cat out. You have to think about, I know when I was a kid growing up, if I had a cat and they did go in and out, they were not indoor cats. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning and you'd hear the cat outside crying. So think about that. If you're looking to adopt a cat, you may want to not let that cat out, because they are going to be coming home at all hours.
Exactly, and like you mentioned before, the main concern is getting disease, getting hit by a car, like you said. There are unfortunately terrible people out there that would do terrible things that you don't even want to think about. But the experts, the cat experts out there, big names, they all recommend keeping your cat indoors, so it just makes sense.
I just, I knew I had gone through that when I was a kid. The cat doesn't come home, and it may not even be that they didn't get hit. It could just be that they're out roaming about for several days.